November 23rd, am I right?
That's right.
Back on the air, the podcast. Cheyenne, Bosch, our guests, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo! I'm the best in the world.
What I'd like to have right now.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Because I was right when I was cool.
Are you ready?
It doesn't matter!
Oh, I said, are you ready?
I'm a sexy beast, baby! I was up all night!
And I'm for life.
Podcast. Cheyenne, Bosch.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the For Life podcast. I'm your host, Bosch, alongside with my co-host, Cheyenne. A lot has happened since our last episode last week. It feels like half a year has gone by since last week's episode.
Yeah, it's a little long. All of a sudden, I don't have a beard anymore.
Yeah.
Certain people aren't in the WWE anymore.
I know, like, the Shield just broke up.
Yeah, I saw on Raw that not only did the Shield broke up, but the Wyatts broke up.
Yeah, and Rowan's a babyface. He's going to be on Cena's team at Survivor
He
Series.
likes cats. He likes cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird nap I woke up from.
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week.
Yeah, pretty crazy week.
It's like 6 days feels like 6 months.
Yeah, it's still strange for me personally. We're back with the For Life podcast after a hiatus. Much anticipated, as you heard. Even Mean Gene was looking forward to the return of the podcast. And as always, when you listen to your podcast, you
Listen to it for life.
For life, and I am super excited to be reunited with my brother, my co-host, my friend, Bosch, as Mean Gene would say, Bosch. The social media.
God, I was so scared that he was gonna, no pun intended, he was gonna botch my name.
Well, we got a couple takes out of him, but it came out really, really good.
Yeah, which we'll have the whole interview play later on this episode.
We are going to have the whole interview play. We were interviewed by Mean Gene.
We did hear like that small clip at the beginning of the episode.
We were at the Big Event 7 in Queens at, what hotel was that again? Was that the Marriott?
LaGuardia Plaza.
LaGuardia Plaza.
I think Mean Gene says it in the interview, so.
Yeah, well, whatever hotel Mean Gene said, and obviously Mean Gene said it.
I remember him saying it was adjacent to LaGuardia Airport.
Yeah, I remember, wasn't the issue we were going over there that it said the Marriott, but it really wasn't?
Yeah. I mean, it was
right.
bigger. It was bigger than the one that we went to last time in March.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And they've already started announcing guests for next March.
For the next one, the big guest for the one that we were at was Sting. My co-host Bosch had the honor and pleasure of taking a photo with the Stinger and having a few moments with him.
Mm-hmm.
A moment. I kind of kept this one a little bit low-key. I did the interview with Mean Gene. I did Hillbilly Jim, and I got some autos and stuff like that. I had a nice conversation with Hillbilly Jim. Had a little funny moment with AJ Styles. Jay Styles. Is AJ Styles coming up right now? And then now the Big Event 8 back in New York and 5 different venues, right?
No, I think it's the same one we just went to.
Same venue that we were just at. My man, my favorite, greatest of all time,
Pete Rose.
The man, styling, profiling, nature boy, Ric Flair for the Big Event 8. You can best believe I'll be there. Ric's going to make at least a month's worth of child support out of me.
Yeah. And let's not forget the awkward exchange I had with Scott Steiner. How can you describe that? Because you were watching as it happened. I was in the moment. I didn't really know how to react. But can you describe what happened with myself and Scott Steiner?
To be honest with you, first, before I tell everybody what happened, the first thing that went to my mind was, what the fuck? Like, seriously. To make a long story short, Bosch wanted to get a photo with the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner. I won't comment on their appearance or attitude, but Bosch went up for the photo. We were happy, we were excited. He went and stuck his hand out to shake Scott Steiner's hand, and Scott Steiner slugged him. And when Bosch put his hand down, then Scott put his hand up for the handshake. Then waved Bosch's hand off, and then he was just for the photo. And then Bosch didn't even say thank you. He just walked.
Yeah, it was
So Bosch
interesting
was
experience.
terrorized.
But I mean, it made up for it when I did meet the lovely Mickey James and Rosita.
Oh, we have to go there at that time.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I set that up. I told them, look, I've met both of them individually. I want a picture of the two of them together. They're sitting right by each other. They're good friends. Why not? I'll pay the same price. Just let me get a picture with the two of them together. And they were really nice about it. Mickey James was a sweetheart. Maybe not so much to the current divas, but to me, she was. I had the For Life shirt on. She asked what podcast it was, and I was as smooth as I can. I was like, me and the guy with the camera, yeah.
Yeah. But she did seem a bit interesting. But I know that's a lot of conversation. I had no idea that the guy from Pro Wrestling Report handles all those guys. I would have never thought that. And if you're not, that's another great show that you can catch on YouTube. They're based out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Pro Wrestling Report, and it looks like he also handles the signings. I didn't see him at the last big event we were at, right? He wasn't there.
Well, the last one was pretty bad. I mean, this one was a much bigger space, but it was still just as crowded. I know I kept having to walk out to get a breather.
That's true, and it looked like he repped Al Snow, Rosita, and Mickey James, who were not at the last one. So that's probably why we didn't.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't see him. Did we talk Raw? Did we talk breaking news that broke out this morning? How do we kick things off, Boss?
This morning, yeah, there was rumors of the man that I met, the Stinger, well, not coming back, but making his debut at Survivor Series. Did you happen to catch? This morning I was on the network and I saw that they had this Survivor Series countdown. It was only a half hour long, but I watched it. Did you happen to catch that one during the week?
I started it, and for some reason, every time I watch that program in particular, something happens where I can't finish it. I saw the beginning where it talks about the debuts.
Yeah.
I had to presume that the Gobbledygooker is on there for the worst. Even though
It was only 5. Yeah, he was number 2. I know it was 5 was the debuts. 4 was just the weird teams. 3 was the first time matches, so that focused on casket match, ambulance match, and the chamber. 2 was the Gooker, and I thought 1 was going to be the screw job, but it was just Vince McMahon as the ultimate survivor. So they showed the screw job. They showed
Vince McMahon as the winner of the Alliance.
The following year with the one night tournament with The Rock, and then with the Alliance. And then I feel like everyone, and then they tied it into this year with him announcing the stipulation for the Authority.
So pretty much, my question for you is, was it a rush job?
Yeah, it looked.
Because sometimes when they put shit on the network without any notice.
I mean, I didn't even know about it. It wasn't I mean, to my knowledge, I didn't see it advertised on Monday.
I got the notification for it on my phone.
It came up. I was on the network. I was watching one of my Raws from '95, the episode where Shawn Michaels collapsed. Painful memories. Listen, no, watching that, the way it was played off, it was very well done. Even, I think what sold me was the commentators went quiet. Even Owen Hart and Jerry Lawler were concerned, and seeing those two.
Vince goes into the ring.
Yeah, they put the oxygen mask on Shawn, but I think seeing Owen and Lawler concerned, considering that they were the 2 biggest heels in the company and they didn't care about anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
I think. Considering
they were untouchable.
Yeah,
at 95, right?
Yeah, it was November '95, 19 years ago. I was 9 years old. As a kid, I believed it.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was the point. I was like, Vince did it like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say on Heartbreak and Triumph they talk about it, and the only people that knew about it were him and Vince.
Yeah, it was well done. Watching it now, 2 decades later.
It was a very well, and I think just because of the internet and just the way fans are now, and by what I mean by that is just the age group the wrestling fans are in.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see something
pulled off like that.
That realistic, that's convincing, because at the end of the day, there's the internet that has ruined wrestling, in my opinion. And then there's, if John Cena does that, how many kids are going to be crying and tears and all this other stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then John Cena's going to be back the next week smiling.
Right. He's going to take time off for divorce.
It's like, for years, my only association or connection I ever had to Syracuse was a group of guys jumped Shawn Michaels in Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean...
And admittedly, even Shawn said it was probably his fault because he was hitting on all their girlfriends, but...
You know what else, too? You bring that up. I mean, the only angles from the 90s that I remember with that much realism, ironically enough, are the Michaels one and the Flair heart attack. I can't think of anything else.
I remember that one.
From 90 to 99.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad one.
And then for the Flair one, Bischoff didn't even want him to tell his wife.
Yeah.
That was the other one, and I read that in the book, and I was like, really? I mean, that's the first person you should kind of let in on the secret.
Well, I know, like in ECW, when Sandman played the...
oh my God, we totally forgot that. I mean...
Yeah, the blind angle.
That was amazing.
Yeah, like he didn't leave his house. Like
I was just going to say, he didn't answer the phone, he didn't leave his house, his wife with his grocery store for him. Oh my God, how the hell could I have forgotten that? I might have that on VHS.
It might be on the network. I know they added a bunch of ECW episodes a couple weeks ago when they did the ECW Exposed.
I think they added 50 new ones, right?
Yeah, it goes up to around the time Foley and Jericho leave.
Yeah, there's about 50 new episodes on the network.
I was watching some of like the Brian Pillman stuff. That was pretty cool.
I have not watched any ECW TV yet because I am still catching up from where I last was. So the new episodes, as tempting as they are for me to watch, it's starting to get really, really good.
I mean, I'm glad to see because I feel like for months there was no new for months the last episode was Guerrero and Malenko, and it was even with the Raws, like it was stuck on August '95 for a while, and like I know once they added the Nitros, yeah, and it's like it's been. I mean, it's tough because like. I guess at the network, like with the financial situation in WWE, that's something that we also missed out on over the last couple months. And it's like, I mean, they could have hired somebody to like prepare the shows and like have them ready for the network. But unfortunately, with their financial situation, they couldn't. And
bear in mind, just bear in mind real quick that Dirt Sheets reported when the ECW stuff went up that apparently almost everything is ready to go up on the network.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get, from a standpoint of making money and keeping the network, going, they cannot put everything up in the WWE library, and that's not what I'm asking for.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I don't think that's what any fan...
But I feel like they threw so much out, and, like, I feel like for a while they were consistent with, like, at least the Raws. They would put up, like, a few every week, or, like, they were pretty consistent with that. And then, like, once the Nitros came out, like, Raw literally goes up to August of 95, then they throw all the Nitros on, so it's like... You can't even...
And the Nitros go to 96.
And the Nitros go to December 96, but it's like at the same time, why wouldn't they throw the night... Like, the way I thought it was going to work out was, okay, the Raws are at August 95. Maybe when they reach September 95, they'll throw Nitros on so that you have the opposing shows together and you can watch them together. But what they did was they threw September on and then they didn't throw any WWE content on, so you couldn't even do, like... your own Monday Night Wars or watch, hey, let me see how these episodes compare to each other.
My question for you is, okay, so is it their financial problems or are they lazy?
No, it's not laziness. I think it was just the financial problems and the lack of staff. You know?
You see Williams, that's another lack of staff issue, Bosh.
I don't know. I just have like a feeling that that's what's going on over there.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's talk Monday Night Raw. Because I actually saw it. Go figure.
This episode of Raw?
Yeah, I missed. I did miss the first hour because I was taking a nap. I had a real rough weekend.
I think just watching it, like I knew. Like the previous week, I knew it was going to end up with Ryback turning back face and joining the team. And then I know like halfway through the episode, there's a Facebook group that I'm in that they were asking like, okay, then who would take Ryback's place? And I randomly said, oh, they've been showing Luke Harper kind of stalking Dolph Ziggler. Maybe they'll just throw Luke Harper on the team. And that ended up happening. And I think when I was watching that closing segment of Raw this week, and everybody was coming out individually, I thought, did they just fuck up and play Luke Harper's music instead of Sheamus? And then
Well,
I saw
I
Eric
marked
Rowan.
out. I marked out when Rowan came out.
It was more like a what? Oh, okay, that's what's happening.
No,
Um,
I thought it was a genius swerve.
I thought it was a botch that the music like
That's what I thought as well.
I thought the
Yeah.
music guy fucked up and played Harper's because Harper's using the same music, right?
The same thing, yeah.
Yeah, so
And
I
they're not
thought I was
changing
like,
it on Sunday either.
did they just play Harper's music instead of Sheamus? Because everybody, I mean, Dolph and Big Show both came out and they were hurt, so I thought Sheamus was gonna be next, and then they threw that Cesaro swerve at, like, what? Like,
The Cesaro swerve was stupid. I knew he wasn't going to be on Team Cena. That was
yeah,
not needed, to be honest.
and then
with
I
you.
was like, wait, he's not gonna be on Team Cena because then what the fuck is Ryback gonna do? And then
I want to.
and then he's not going to be on the Authority because there's already 5 people there, unless they're going to take Kane out and put Cesaro in.
I want to. Well, that doesn't mean anything because Murphy and Noble and Triple H and Stephanie were in the ring. So Team Authority was like 9 people. So that
Yeah,
doesn't mean
even the
anything.
graphic shows Noble and Mercury and Stephanie and Triple H.
But, so they're all going to be at ringside. But I want to go back a little bit. I missed the first hour, so could you just recap that real quick?
I can't remember that far back. First hour. Fuck. I'm terrible.
Well, all right. Let's go to where I remember the second hour. Because this is the point I'm trying to make.
Maybe it'll come back to me.
Was it like the John Cena show a little bit?
No, because now I remember everybody on Cena's team kept getting hurt, and Cena didn't come out and help them.
They all got their ass kicked. Okay?
Yeah, Luke Harper. Luke Harper won the title.
Title.
Yeah, he won the Intercontinental title.
I don't think that was needed.
Mm-hmm. When they announced it was going to be an Intercontinental title match, I knew he was going to win.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, when I woke up, all I saw was Ziggler laying on the floor, and I was like, okay, so they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, so now I remember I saw Ziggler got his ass kicked. Cena was nowhere to be found. Big Show and Sheamus got their ass kicked. Cena was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, they got their ass kicked bad.
And it was like, why isn't Cena helping them? Like, storyline-wise, he's supposed to be... Why wouldn't he help his team?
Well, I mean, that's what I felt like. I felt like, this big yellow jerk was just back there while his team was getting
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, would I have been like? I think a logical closing the Raw would have been his team coming out and all turning on him, and they all fuck him up. Logically, that would have made sense because they all left him there to get his ass kicked, or like if his team maybe not turn, but like if his team was there with him and then they all walked out the ring and let him get his ass kicked. You let us get our ass kicked earlier tonight. I thought it made no sense that Cena didn't help them.
One of the best things that WWE did, they announced on SmackDown that everybody on Team Cena will be fired.
Yeah, if they lose. Yeah, they announced that.
Because that's a more believable ramifications for that team.
Well, because then it just leaves it's one-sided. Like, what does Cena have to lose?
Right, and then Cena's really fighting for his team, and he'll be fine. So there's that issue, and I'm of the state of belief that the Authority's not going to win Sunday. Like they don't have me convinced.
Yeah.
Like the Authority's losing.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, do you think this whole McFarlane?
Well, you got to think about it this way: 3 of the 5 guys on that team aren't a part of the Authority. So what do they have to lose if the team loses?
Well, who are the 3? Harper's not part of the Authority, right?
Henry and Rusev.
And Henry and Rusev. Nobody on the Authority has anything to lose except Triple H and stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess in theory, if you want to be that technical, Noble and Mercury.
Yeah. So it's like Triple H isn't even a part of the team, but he's putting all his faith in these guys.
Yeah, and then he's the one that took the table bump at the end. I mean, that makes sense because Vince would have done that 10 years ago also.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like I said...
I mean, and now there's the rumors of Sting coming back. Like, how does he play into this? Also, it's in...
Well, Joe Chico said Sting won't be in the ring. To be honest with you, if anybody gets injured...
Yeah.
During the pay-per-view and cannot compete, my guess is Sting goes in the ring. I know that's kind of far-fetched.
And also, do you see maybe some involvement from Orton helping Team Cena win?
I mean, I don't see why not. And
I mean, just the pop that he would get plus it's in his hometown, plus the way they wrote him off to do the movie was pretty well done, and I think like those last couple weeks after like the RKO vines came out, like he was pretty hot, and like the crowd, I mean, people were getting behind him.
Right.
So.
And I know a lot of people are upset that he's not going to be there because it's his hometown. So just for him to make the save like Kurt Angle did, and
I think it's kind of like Dean Ambrose made that. I mean, I can see him just coming out to make that surprise run-in, like even if it's just him in street clothes, he comes in and RKO's.
Yeah, I want him on a run-in. I want him on a run-in.
Yeah, like not part of the match.
As a replacement.
Yeah.
Not as a replacement.
And then randomly writing Sheamus out of the match.
Yeah, but Sheamus is apparently legit injured. I wasn't expecting that.
Really?
Yeah, apparently he underwent a surgery Wednesday.
Oh, okay, yeah, because then and as far as
I'm not surprised.
No, and Rusev, I'm guessing he'll either be counted out or disqualification.
I don't see Rusev getting eliminated clean.
He's not going to get pinned in this match.
Let me tell you, man, by WrestleMania 31, Rusev is going to be such a bigger deal.
Yeah. I mean, I can see them even keeping him and Cena away from each other.
Well, if Rusev gets,
or maybe they tease,
it. Or maybe they
tease it, and they do.
Whoever quote unquote gets him eliminated, it's not going to be Cena, and it's probably going to be a double countout.
Yeah, maybe a Big Show. Because I'm guessing
logically, Big Show would be the guy because
Yeah.
Well, it's like a dating thing. Everybody has their partner.
And it's a little. I mean, it's a little weird that Mark Henry and Rusev.
I was just gonna say that really was upsetting me that they're on the same team.
And it's like they're not even gonna acknowledge it.
Or
at least that they're being paid to be on the same team, or like, there's like no acknowledgement whatsoever of the fact that Rusev was kicking Henry's ass for the last couple months.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. And then they added a Divas tag match I saw. I don't think anybody's looking forward to that. I'm expecting them to get 5 minutes if that. What else is on the card? Oh, and then the Nation of the Church, the New Day.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. I mean, it's funny. I was reading the description for our last episode, and it was poking fun at Rusev going after black people, and now it's like, I feel like they've been gone as long as we have.
Yeah, and was it me or was Big E talking like the Doctor of Style flick?
I think so. Like, weren't they like teasing joining up together? Like, did we discuss Xavier Woods and his brother Love outfit?
When we last left, they had the whole thing where they were in fact going to start getting together.
Yeah, and then they haven't been on TV since. Like, they've been on a longer hiatus than we have.
Well, they've been on house shows and they have had appearances.
Oh, as far as Raw, like being in that.
Appearances on main event, both as individuals and collectively.
Yeah. But who watches main event?
They have had appearances on main event, both as individuals and collectively.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're going to actually make some form of a television appearance. So it'll be interesting. I don't think Survivor Series is the time to debut.
No, maybe the night after.
Because
I feel like everybody's had their video. I mean,
a group like that with a bunch of mid-carders, I wouldn't debut them at Survivor Series.
No. I mean,
a promo, that's one thing. But a group like that,
because first they had Woods do his promo, and then the following week it was Woods and Kofi, and then this week it was Kofi and Big E. So maybe they'll do one together before finally debuting.
Well, I mean, again, I don't see Survivor Series being a smart place for them to debut.
No, they're not going to debut. They're not going to debut tonight.
Too. What do you think Sting's going to be involved in?
Sting?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the new GM, but I don't want him in that role.
Well, I mean,
like if you're going to bring him in, then just bring him in as the Crow character. He can't be the GM as the Crow character. And it's like, out of those, like, who is he going to feud with out of those people?
Unless they have him in that managerial role without the face paint for a couple months, and then somebody provokes him to get in the ring at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't see like as much as I want him there. Like, I don't see much use for him right now. I mean,
he was on IGN this week too.
yeah. So
he was on IGN twice this week. I called both of that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what else is there to discuss that's been going on?
Well, I know that neither one of us have been watching SmackDown since we've been gone, so let's stop that shit right now.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that there was a really good match last week that I do have to go back and check. Was the triple threat for the IC title?
Really?
With Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Tyson Kidd. Like, a lot of people were saying match of the year candidate, that it was really good. So I think we have to go back and check that one out.
I'll wait till that goes back. I see that the Brooklyn Raw that we had is up on the network, so I have to watch that too.
Yeah.
Just hear how dead the crowd is once Rock leaves.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I mean, I think that's the only part I actually went back and watched. But yeah, we did go to Raw last month. It was. I mean,
it was an okay show.
It was an okay. Like, I feel like after the Rock, it was hard to like get the energy back from the crowd.
Oh, we were worn out.
Yeah, like I was sitting. Well, you know where I was sitting was like kind of like the ledge. So I was like, what happens if I would have got even more excited and like fallen over?
I was just gonna say, I really don't know how you're gonna die.
Yeah, like it was pretty dangerous up there because it wasn't that high up, and but I mean I know The Rock was posting pictures earlier in the day on Instagram of himself in New York at the Time Warner Building, and I know I know you even asked me earlier in the day, like, do you think The Rock will be there? And I was like,
we both were like, no way.
I was like, no, like, why would he be there? But I know when that music hit, I fucking popped. It was cool, like, and it was good to put Rusev in that level with The Rock, and it wasn't like The Rock kicked his ass or like hit him with the rock bottom and the people's elbow. It was like, okay, a few punches, he went out the ring, he left, you know. So even The Rock kept him pretty strong. Like, it wasn't like The Rock completely kicked his ass.
What was? Oh, the main event that night, that was the handicap match, and when Dean Ambrose came back, it was
from Coney Island, yeah.
Right?
I wanted more skits. I wanted more skits from Coney Island.
I'm gonna get on the Q train.
I wanted more skits throughout the night, you know, like it would have been cool to see him wandering around New York or going to Brooklyn.
I really wanted to see him on the Wonder Wheel.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie to you.
I did too. But
that's one where everybody's chanting for Sting, and I'm there like, he's not here.
Yeah. Then the CM Punk chants, I didn't participate.
Everybody's dressed like Bray Wyatt for these things. Everybody's dressed like Sting for these shows.
Yeah.
It's like the worst cosplay ever because everybody's the same person.
Well, I had my Adam Rose shirt with some like reddish pinkish pants, so I decided to go a little different.
Yeah, but you didn't dress up as anybody. By the way, side I'm playing WWE 2K15 available now for all systems current and next gen, and Lana looks stunning in the game.
I bet she does.
Stunning. Huh?
I bet she does.
And you can tell that they scan her full body.
Good to know.
You can just tell that they scan her full body. Rusev looks good too. His hair's too short. But then again, you know, when they scan us, he had the...
Yeah. He's probably still in NXT at the time.
When they scan Rusev, yeah, he's probably still in NXT.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of NXT, they also got a lot of new talent down there.
Yeah, a lot of new talent in NXT. They got a stable of shoot wrestlers. They got the mechanics type of new
they have
manager now.
Kenta, who's Hideo Itami now.
Kenta, Hideo Itami.
Prince Devitt is now Finn Balor.
By the way, Jamal Jackson does a hysterical Finn Balor impersonation.
Okay, I need to hear that one.
You need to hear it. I'm not going to try to do it. But next time he's on, you got to do it.
The next NXT live event, Kevin Steen, now known as Kevin Owens, is going to be debuting, so that should be good. Do you think they bring him in as a heel or a babyface?
I'm going to say heel because NXT needs it.
I feel like he could play. I feel like with Sami Zayn maybe winning the title, he can go after Zayn.
Yeah, I see Zayn and Steen feuding after Neville goes to the main roster.
Like, even if he doesn't win the belt right away,
at
least see them feuding for a bit, or he starts going after him.
And
they've already mentioned the history. Like, earlier this week, they did the Survivor Series Dream Teams, and Sami Zayn was on there with Kevin Steen as part of his team.
Yeah, I see Steen and Zayn feuding after Zayn gets the belt, and I see them having physical matches that NXT has never seen before.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like their matches in Ring of Honor. I was there for their last one, the Ladder War. So
Yeah.
I know how crazy they can get. You know.
Yeah, and I see this one being no different. And you know, for those two guys who there really isn't a certain match that they haven't had, and if anybody knows how to get violent, it's Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
So I see that going to NXT, and it's much needed.
I mean, it's cool to see a lot of these guys that I've been watching for years make it to the WWE. Yeah. I mean, like it's
something that we talked on before on the show. You know, it's very special.
And it's tough because NXT is such a different. Yeah.
When you see a wrestler's whole career in front of you.
I mean, it's tough because NXT is such a good show. I think there's there's a fear in a lot of fans that what happens when they get brought up from that NXT level to the WWE, like will they be as successful? It's because it's a different environment.
Well, number one, being over in NXT is not the same as being over on Raw.
Yeah, like look at Adam Rose, for instance.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Adam Rose.
You know, like that small environment. Look, we were raving about him 6 months ago. You know, and now it's like he's feuding with a bunny.
Well, Paige was fizzling out for a while, and she made a turnaround. So
well, it wasn't until she turned heel, and now she's going to be on Total Divas coming up. So let's see how that goes.
One of the best things they could have done for Neville, Breeze, and Zayn was they put them on Raw.
Yeah.
So you know it's out there that NXT has not watched that regularly. So they put them on Raw to test them out, and you know they have that following.
Yeah.
So they're out there, their faces are in the mud. So, you know, that was one of the best things they really could have done for them was put them on Raw to test them out. And they got a good reaction the first time without any hype.
Yeah.
And then they got a reaction the second and third time. And, you know, they also worked the house shows, the live events. I heard that Adrian Neville got a huge pop on a, you know, Superstars or a main event taping that he worked a few weeks back.
Yeah.
You know, so... You know, that's something that WWE has to do going forward. But, you know, again, being over in NXT is not the same as being over in WWE.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, I guess when we come back, we can discuss some of the other promotions right now. There's TNA, there's Lucha Underground, there's Ring of Honor.
When we come back, we're going to talk Ring of Honor, we're going to talk Lucha Underground, the new promotion that debuted during our hiatus. We're going to talk TNA and meet some new deals, and we're going to talk so much more when we come back.
All right, what are we going with? Steinerized?
Yeah, Steinerized.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's the story of two brothers, Rick and Scott. The two use drugs and they're always on top, but they have the time on their ability. So that you so bad they'll knock you to your knees. They take on all comers, no matter what size. There won't be any questions when you get Steinerized.
All right, folks, we're back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely music.
Steinerized!
Thank you, Cheyenne.
Yeah.
So, have you had a chance to catch Lucha Underground?
You know, I still haven't because I wasn't able to find them on demand.
Okay.
And whenever they come on, I'm at work.
Yeah. They've been what 4 weeks now. It's a pretty good show. It's only an hour long.
Is it 4 weeks already?
Yeah. This week they happen to be showing the replay of the third week before this week's episode, so I was able to catch those two. I caught some of the first episode. Like there's a few familiar faces down there. You have Chavo Guerrero down there.
John Morris is on that.
As Johnny Mundo.
Mm-hmm.
Chavo just turned heel in the second episode. He's with the Evil Promoter. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's an actor, but he's pretty good. And they have the
it's got like that novella type feel.
yeah, it's got like
right?
the novella kind of Dusk Till Dawn because Robert Rodriguez is behind it. So it's a pretty cool product. Conan is down there. He's with Prince Puma, also known as Ricochet.
Ricochet.
I mean, a lot of people have compared Conan's character to like Freddie Blassie in the later years with the cane and the wheelchair and kind of like that old grizzled veteran.
Yeah.
But I mean, Conan's always great.
Yo, what's up, boss?
And it's a pretty good product. You also have Evilise down there. She was on Tough Enough. She's a very,
Is she on that?
yeah.
I had no idea. I thought it was just Maxine on that.
Oh, Maxine.
I had no idea.
She's I think I forgot her name's not Maxine though, but she's with this
Yeah,
guy
I know that.
named
She's got that kiss of death thing, right?
Yeah, Mir Muertes, and like she'll lick the dude's face. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
Hope she's at the next big event.
Oh my God.
I mean, they shoot their stuff in seasons, so it's 13 weeks, and then in January they're gonna shoot again.
Well, remember, I mean, you know, what if they don't get picked up?
I mean, it's Robert Rodriguez's network, and he's producing it, so it's the network.
Oh, wait, never mind. I didn't know he owned the damn network. Never mind.
Yeah, the network is behind the show, so that's
okay.
That's pretty much on Robert Rodriguez or the network. The network does, I believe, they do own it, and who else? I mean, they have some stars from Mexico. They have Sexy Star. I know they're really pushing her. Chavo blasted her in the head with a chair. I mean, that's the one thing people have complained about is that they have like men versus women matches.
Well, that's how it is
in Mexico, yeah, or midgets
or
minis. Sorry. I mean, it's a good product. It's different. It's not. It's like TNA is trying a lot to be like WWE, so it has a lot better production value than Ring of Honor and great action. It's only an hour long, so it's not like you have to sit through 3 hours of it. So, I mean, it's a good show. If you don't have nothing to watch on a Wednesday, you know?
Yeah.
So, I'm enjoying it. TNA, we attended their tapings in August. You went to, I think, the first night. I went to the third night.
I was there first night out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
And I saw Hardy versus Dundee versus the Wolves, which was sensational.
I saw those three in the ladder match. And, I mean, my only complaint was they filmed almost 3 episodes the night that I was there, and it just dragged. Like, by the time I got out of there, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning.
I got there at 7. I left at about 11:30. I got I got a Explosion. Mm-hmm. I got Hardcore Justice.
I got No Surrender.
And I got 2.5 Impact.
Yeah, I got about 2.5 Impact tapings, and it just dragged. And then considering that the Hardys match was maybe like the second hour. And then like the Bobby Lashley, Bobby Roode match was also really good. And by that point, it was almost like a joke. Like they just kept adding match after match after match.
Yeah, it did feel like they were booking the card as I was watching it.
Yeah, and then like finally, like the last match was Low Ki and Zema Ion, and it was like, oh my God, are you done yet? And then like I was gonna stick around, but the line to meet the wrestlers was pretty long, so I ended up just going outside and catching them leaving.
Mine was long, but it was moving pretty fast. That was why.
No, mine was slow. Like I only wanted to meet the Rebel, the chick from the Menagerie. Other than
that, no, she wasn't there for me. Who did you get?
We had the Menagerie, Magnus, Tigre Uno, and maybe like Bram or Gunner, one of them.
No, I had EY. Well, let me do it in order because that'll help me remember it easier. I had Low Ki. I had Gil Kim. Mm-hmm. Then I had the Jersey Shore guys. Who are they?
The Bromans. Okay, you had a pretty good lineup.
I had the Bromans, and then we actually asked Borash and Simon Diamond to come down, and they did for us.
Yeah, you had. It sounds like you had a much better lineup than I did.
And then we had Eric Young and.
Well, I do think the point of that.
Suicide
Manic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the point of doing that, the pictures after the show, was because at the previous taping in June, I remember, I don't think we had done an episode since then, but I was passing by the hotel and I did catch a bunch of the wrestlers leaving, and I did get pictures with a lot of them, and the hotel was really crowded. So I don't know if that was there.
You think that was to prevent?
I think that was to prevent the crowds there so that like the bigger names can leave. But even then I realized, okay, this line is really long, and I went outside and I met Homicide, I met Anderson, I didn't get a picture with Rude or Eric Young, but I did see them leave. I saw a bunch of people leave, but I didn't get as many pictures. But it was to avoid having the bigger stars harass so they can leave. And it's like, and when they leave, they end up just walking down the street and walking down 8th Avenue.
To get a cab, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, no, if they're at the Pennsylvania, then no, just walking to the
I guess compared to when we go to WWE events and they're leaving out their cars or they're going to the parking lot, you know, it's weirder to see them just walking down the street.
Right.
Like I walked home and I saw Gunner and the Dexter guy. They were eating dollar pizza on like a few by Port Authority. You know.
Oh wow.
I feel like you would never see that with WWE.
Yeah, because then again, WWE does all their travel in house, so it's a lot harder to get there.
Yeah. So it's like you see the difference between the two, and it was like they couldn't even fill up the Manhattan Center, which is the smaller venue upstairs, compared to Ring of Honor that usually sells out the Hammerstein. And
Oh no! When I was there, the place filled up towards the end of the show. They also delayed
because
the
I heard
show
that
about 20, 30 minutes to fill
night
it.
2 that they were giving away tickets outside.
Oh, they were giving away tickets on night 1. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have known, I would have gone. Like I had second row seats, so I was pretty good. I paid about $60 for them.
Yeah, that was good.
So, and I know Ring of Honor has Final Battle coming up. That's always a fun show. It's going to be at Terminal 5. I'm not sure how that venue is, but I think it's bigger than Hammerstein.
Well, okay, I have been to Terminal 5 for a concert.
Okay.
For me to say that it's bigger or smaller, there really isn't a comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's an open floor, it's a stage, it's a music hall.
Okay.
So I can't really sit here and tell you that it's bigger or smaller.
Well, that's what the Manhattan Center is. Where it's a stage. But they just put seats on the stage.
Okay, when you get there,
because I have second floor
I imagine
seats.
it being like when TNA was in Webster Hall and they put the ring on the show.
I didn't go to that.
That's what I imagine them doing.
Okay, I mean, and it's also going to be on live pay-per-view.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll see how they do. Also, Jeff Jarrett's promotion is, I guess they're promoting the New Japan pay-per-view in January. That's going to be on pay-per-view. It's not going to be live because of the time difference, and also Jim Ross is supposed to be calling that show.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty cool deal.
So I'm looking forward to that. I know through my job, I get to order pay-per-views, and I get like $150 a year. So that's a pretty good deal. I mean, now that I don't need to order.
We're actually going to get my $30.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be ordering that.
I'm going to order it.
Yeah, I am too.
I literally was considering buying it. Mm-hmm. But legit, as corny as this may sound, Jim Ross was the selling point for me.
Yeah.
So they're getting my money.
Yeah, especially because we haven't heard him commentate in years.
I've heard him commentate a lot. I'm very curious for the new promotion. I want to see what they're about, even though I do feel it might be a little too...
And I'm sure JR has been doing his research. And
yeah, I'm just more concerned with, it's a GF... I mean, obviously it's probably going to be like this because it is a New Japan paper that's going to be shown.
Yeah. And I know those shows tend to run like about 5 hours.
I don't think they're going to do a 5-hour pay-per-view.
Nah. I mean, I know their Japan shows run, like, I know their most recent one I downloaded, but it's 5 hours long, so it's like, I can't get through 3 hours of Raw. Like, how am I going to sit through 5 hours and it's not even in the language I understand?
Cat couldn't even get through 3 hours of Raw, bro.
I can't get through 3 hours.
But, I don't see them doing a 5-hour show. I think if they do 5 hours, they'll tank.
Yeah, that's...
I remember it's going to be taped and edited the same day, so they're going to... Not everything in those 5-hour Japan
Yeah,
shows.
by the time it airs, they have time to like put it together and shit. So it should be a good show. And I don't know of any other promotions we can talk about.
Well, we can talk about TNA and the new TV deal.
Yes, so yeah, that's what I was forgetting. We're talking about the fucking shows we went to 4 months ago, but yeah, I'm glad to hear that they got their TV deal. I was really worried about them, especially because their product did start to get a lot better. Like, watching the shows that I attended in Manhattan, watching them on TV, they were, like 6 months ago, my opinion on TNA on the show, I guess if you go back and listen, I had no interest in them. I wasn't watching. And I think the Manhattan shows did get my interest back into the product. And, I mean, I know their recent Pennsylvania tapings weren't that well.
And they do have the Manhattan Center on hold, quote-unquote.
Yeah, so it's like maybe just being in that environment brought out the best of them because they know the New York crowd. They know the New York crowd is rough, so
Right.
they knew they had to step their game up, and they did. They like, I mean, attending it live, it was tough just by the way it's formatted and set up, but watching it on TV, it was really well done. So it's like it's not like WCW that their product was shitty for the last year. Like it was like
Yeah.
it was kind of like
It's always been peaks and valleys with TNA.
yeah, it's like okay, their writing might suck, but they've always had great talent since day one. You know, like
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's like there's always that like little part of me like okay, I might not watch it every week, but I don't want them to go under. Like I do want them to succeed, and I do want them to do well, and I do want their product to be good enough for me to want to watch every week.
Right.
It's like when I was watching on Wednesdays on pay-per-view every week, I was hooked, you know, but
Yeah.
it's like okay, they have lost a lot of their talent, but they still have some great talent down there, and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah, and, they had a big hit with Ethan Carter having
oh yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Like Ethan Carter, like every time I watch him, I'm like, God, WWE dropped the ball with this guy because this guy's really good.
Yeah.
You know, MVP's doing really good down there. Like I know the Wolves are down there. James Storm, Bobby Roode is doing really good. He's the champ now. Like Eric Young, and like all these guys that have been there for a while.
And I saw Loki is the Activision champion again, huh?
Yeah, like he's back down there, and so it's. I mean, at least I'm glad they have the TV network. These guys stay employed because it's like I don't see WWE picking up any of their guys.
I see them picking up like 2 or 3 of their guys, not all of them.
Who would you see them picking up?
I see them picking up Bobby Roode, not James Storm. If it was their money at their height, yes. I see them picking up Bobby Roode, not James Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I see them picking up Eric Young.
I mean, but then there's just going to be that comparison to Danny O'Brien.
I see them picking up Eric Young, believe it or not, regardless of whatever comparison stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
So Bobby Roode, Eric Young.
Maybe realizing.
I don't see them getting the rooms because it's like, well, we had you, we didn't like you, and we let you go.
Yeah, I would see maybe Ethan Carter. Like, hey, okay, we dropped the ball with this guy, but look,
I don't see that either.
Really?
You know how they are when they had a guy and they let him go. You know, It wasn't like when Christian was theirs first and then he went to TNA.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't.
But Christian, from what I heard, Christian left on good terms.
The deal with Christian leaving has always been rocky, so I don't know if he really did or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but like I said, Bobby Roode and Eric Young are my first 2 picks.
Yeah.
For them to, for Triple H.
Even Lashley, like Lashley's been doing like pretty well now. I mean, I've never really been much of a fan of Lashley, but at least as like the heel champion, I think he's done pretty good. And having
he's been great.
And having having MVP as his.
I was really upset about that.
I mean, having MVP as his mouthpiece has helped a lot too. Because MVP is amazing.
Yeah.
Like even at the show, like I was like, he's so good as a heel. And
yeah. That was another one that was never really let go of him. I was really sad about that.
Well, he wanted to go, and he had Laurinaitis helped him get the deal with Japan.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So yeah, because he always said like, he always says he left on good terms, and it was like open door, like he was welcome to come back anytime, but he wanted to go to Japan, and Laurinaitis contacted his people.
He's never really buried the E.
No, he's always been good about that.
He's never buried the E, so
yeah.
I give it to him for not, burning any bridges, because a lot of guys, really have that tendency to do so. Not realizing what they're doing, quite frankly.
Oh yeah, I mean, that might be what's kept Angle from going there. Because when he first came when he first came in, he did nothing but bury them, and then I guess for the last year, he's been praising them because he wants to go back. And I mean, that's another topic that's come up a lot over the last couple months. And then Triple H offering him a full-time deal, and he couldn't take that, and it was. I don't know. I mean, I remember when he did come into WWE, he came into TNA, he did bash them a lot, Yeah,
oh my God. And then remember, he came out, I'll never forget it, he came out on his website saying that he wasn't joining any promotion.
Yeah.
And he took a couple, innuendos at Vince saying, hey, the next cup of coffee's on me. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, he was on the end of that TNA interview. So, that was another one not too dissimilar from many people that have had a very close relationship with Vince, and then they screw themselves over in the end.
Yeah. But then again, everybody ends up coming back eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, like I said, I definitely believe that Kurt Angle will be there at some point.
Because he did say, like, this was his last contract he wanted to sign and his final year, and whoever he signed, he was going to retire.
I mean, he's not in the ring that much anyway, so he's got, some steam.
Yeah.
So, that's just me. I mean, I think we'll see him there eventually, of course. Mm-hmm. When that is, we just got to find out.
Also,
that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And when, do we have a date yet for the Destination America debut? No.
January. That's all I've heard.
Yeah, there's no date though, right?
Yeah. And every time I hear the name of that network, I think of Destination X, so I can only imagine when that show comes around and they're Destination X on Destination America.
I mean, I think Dirt Sheets was saying tentative for the 15th of January, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's good. Yeah, like after the holidays and...
All right, and then what's the other thing that I heard about, too? TNA's going to have an Impact on YouTube.
Impact on YouTube? I haven't
heard
that.
They're doing an Impact on YouTube, I'm going to say next week.
Well, because they're not... this week was their final week on Spike.
Yeah, I think they're having a TNA Impact on YouTube. It's not a live show. It's just like a best of, like the Feast or Fire matches.
Well, because that's what they were... They were going to originally do that on Spike, but I guess Spike kind of cut that... Because they were going to last till the end of the year on Spike, but they were only going to do best ofs after their tapings were done. But I guess Spike didn't want that, so they kind of took out that block and they're throwing movies on Wednesday nights.
Really, what movie are they going to open with instead of TNA? I'm curious.
I have no clue. Let's look it up.
So when they choose like a really crappy movie over a TNA Impact, I think that just says all as far as I'm concerned. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Let's see. We can talk while I look.
And folks, don't forget, 4lifepodcast.com. That's IVLIFEPODCAST.com.
Oh, you got it. I haven't... For a social media whore, I have not plugged any of our social media shit or the website.
Good, that's the point. Let me finish. 4lifepodcast.com. Okay, and before Boss gets rolling, you can add me, yes, me, on Twitter, at Ravishing Jones, on Instagram, at Ravishing Jones, on the PlayStation Network, Cheyenne McMahon, that's CHEYENNENCMAN, and my Tumblr is out of commission because someone hacked into my account, so you can get me all those ways.
End of Watch is playing this Wednesday.
That just says it all right there, dude. You know?
Yeah. Well, thank you for plugging the social media at 4Life Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook.com/4Life Podcast. You can see all of my Photoshop creations. I just posted one up of us as the guest host of Raw.
Yeah.
And another one is that you might have seen is Team Bosch versus Team Cheyenne with the shadows behind us. I don't know if you can tell who those shadows are by the pictures. There's a lot.
I had a couple of facts and a couple of our team members were guests.
There's each of us have a large man in a cowboy hat in our team, so we'll see who that is when we come back. We will announce our Fantasy Survivor Series teams that you guys will get to vote on, and next week we'll announce which one of our teams wins. Team Bosch.
And you get to hear my Vince McMahon voiceover because it's like a month.
All right, so when we come back, we will announce our teams, and now we're going to play Ethan Carter's music because I like
I've been fighting all my life for the man I am inside. I believe the plan for me is plain to see. A man of steel, a fast machine, my pockets full of cash and bling. Greatness is my only destiny.
by Team Authority versus Team Cena. But we're forgetting about the undercard fantasy tag team match of the century. I'm talking about the second annual Team Bosch versus Team Cheyenne scoring off.
Is this the second annual?
Fantasy.
No, it's not. This is the first one.
No, we had one last year, remember?
No, last year we started our show in December.
Well, we did one to hype the show. Remember we had your team and my team?
So who were on our teams last year? I don't remember this.
Remember we had all the crappy ECW guys nobody ever heard of.
Oh, okay.
You just tagged me on Instagram the other day.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Bosch is too busy drinking on hiatus, kid. That's the real reason why.
I don't even drink as much
That's the
as...
reason why we stopped doing the show, because Bosch is a freaking lush. Okay? That's why.
I think the problem over the last 6 months is that I haven't been drinking as much as I used to. That's why I've been so fucking stressed out.
nice cover, pal. Yeah, you're not fooling me, okay? So, with that being said, Bosch, please announce your team to try and square off against my team.
All right, my team will consist of my favorite wrestler of all time, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, The Undertaker, and Brock Lesnar. Who's on your team, Cheyenne, that you think will have a chance of taking my team down?
For Team Cheyenne, Captain, 16-time Heritage Champion, 2-time Hall of Famer, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, also Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the name today on the Wrestling Squad,
I think we can take them all.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think my team is totally going to outwin yours voting-wise. I think it's going down, bro.
Well, you know what? What I was teasing earlier this week is that the 5 members of my team have accomplished something that only 2 members of your team have been able to accomplish.
What's that about?
All 5 members of my team, WrestleMania 12, Shawn Michaels walked out as WWE Champion. WrestleMania 13, The Undertaker walked out as WWE Champion. WrestleMania 20, Eddie Guerrero walked out as WWE Champion. Well, let's go back one year. WrestleMania 19, Brock Lesnar walked out as WWE Champion. WrestleMania 28, CM Punk walked out as WWE Champion. So all of my guys have walked out of WrestleMania as WWE Champion. So that means something to me.
Well, it means something, and that's great. My team has the most world championships.
Well, that's because you have Ric Flair and Triple H on your team. Them 2 alone have more than my fucking team
combined. And I've got Kurt Angle as well. Don't disqualify Kurt.
TNA doesn't count.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yes, I'm honest. Okay, how many? Okay, Ric Flair is what, 16?
Well, 21, but 16.
Triple H, what, 13?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
29. JBL, 1, 30. Stone Cold?
Stone Cold what?
Like 5 or 6?
Five.
5? Okay, 35.
5.
And Kurt Angle?
And WWE, what is that? About 5, right?
Okay, so 40. Let's see my team. Shawn Michaels, 4. Okay. Undertaker?
5, 6. All right.
Well, you know what? I have the longest reigning WWE champion of the last 25 years.
Okay, well,
I have the only man to ever win the WWE title, the NCAA championship, and the UFC title.
I have the only Olympic gold medalist, and I also have the longest reigning WWE champion of the Ruthless Aggression era.
CM Punk still held it longer.
I
have Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels. I have the man with the longest WrestleMania streak. I have Eddie Guerrero, who I just love Eddie.
Well, I have Steve Austin, the biggest box office attraction of the Attitude Era.
Oh,
I have Kurt Angle, obviously, arguably the greatest rookie in the history of wrestling. He had the best rookie year. I have Ric Flair, that's self-explanatory. I have Triple H, who could fire anyone on this list, living or dead. And then I have JBL who can heat everybody out on commentary. I mean, seriously, what more do you need?
Well, we're gonna let the fans vote, so you can either
And the
vote.
fans are going to vote for me.
No, they're gonna vote for my team.
They're going to vote for me.
Mine has more guys that the internet likes.
Oh, actually, no, that is true. That's yeah,
I got CM Punk on my team.
Well, it depends on the day with CM Punk, so I wouldn't go count him too much yet. I wouldn't get too excited just yet.
I have Brock Lesnar can just F5 everybody in your team.
Also true.
But we'll let the fans vote. We'll be posting up the picture with our teams. And you guys can either vote hashtag Team Bosch or hashtag Team Cheyenne. So, I mean...
Hashtag Team Cheyenne is really the more important of the two.
I'm a social media whore.
You can.
So that means I will have more people to vote for me.
You're never going to see me promote as much as you are. Just for
Exactly. I'm the king of self-promotion.
We'll see, ladies and gentlemen, Team Cheyenne, Team Bosch, and should I cue my Vince McMahon voiceover now?
Or did you purposely do that? Did you press the button with your cheek to censor out my name?
No.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. That was my accident. I think that's why I had a text.
Well, going back, what are some of your favorite Survivor Series teams over the 28 years?
Jesus. It was Team Hacksaw versus Team Macho Man. Team Macho Man was amazing.
Who was on that team? Just to remind the fans and me.
Oh, well, now I got to look at it. I think it was Macho King was on there. Obviously, Zeus was probably on that. Mm-hmm. I'm blanking, but they totally destroyed Hacksaw Jim Duggan's team. I was a big fan of Team WWF, obviously. Team WWF versus Team Alliance. That was great. I love the Teamsters versus the bad guys.
Yes, I'm a huge mark for that era, so yes, I'm a fan
I love the Teamsters. The perfect team of Kurt Hennig, the Genius, and I'm blanking on the other two members. I love that.
The Beverly Brothers?
And the Beverly Brothers, yeah, that sounds right. I was a huge fan of the 20-man Survivor Series match.
Yeah, they did those the first 2 years.
You know what? I'm going to cheat and read my Survivor Series DVD sets, because most of them are from the 90s anyway. I am not a fan of the wild card tag match. I just want to put that out there.
No, yeah, I was actually watching it because a review away was reviewing the show, so I watched Survivor Series last week. I watched it with Natalie just to see it from her point of view because she's about the age that I was at that time. So it was pretty cool to see the show. I feel like for all that, they should have just had a regular Survivor Series match with baby faces and heels. And it was like, okay, Razor was in that match, but his big feud was with the 1-2-3 Kid. Like, why wasn't 1-2-3 Kid in that match? He was in that underdog match. I feel like you could have had Shawn, Razor, Ahmed, maybe another baby face against maybe like 1-2-3 Kid, Owen, Yoko, Sid, whatever, Like, they could have found the way to do it without the whole wild card stipulation.
Well, real quick, just because I have it all laid out in front of me, I'm a huge fan of, from the very first Survivor Series, the actual first tag match that was on the card, Harley Race's team versus Randy Savage's team. It was Harley Race, Hercules, Danny Davis, Ron Bass, and Honky Tonk Man. Excuse me, that's actually Honky Tonk Man's team. Taking on Savage's team of Savage, Steamboat, Beefcake, Jake Roberts, Jim Duggan. Also from that same one, Andre's team of the template for the Heenan family against Hogan's team. It's Andre, Rick Rude, Bundy, Butch Reed, a one-man gang, taking on Hogan, Bam Bam, Ken Patera, Don Morocco, and Paul Wonder. Mm-hmm. Huge fan of the Mega Power team from the second year, Hogan, Savage, Coco, Hercules, and Hillbilly Jim, taking on Boss Man, Hakeem, DiBiase, Haku, and the Red Rooster. Let's see. Here it is, the King's Court. It's Savage, Greg Valentine, Dino Bravo, and Earthquake against Hacksaw, Bret Hart, Ronnie Garvin, and Hercules. Well, Ronnie Garvin gets
They showed a clip of that promo with the 4x4s.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
And then from the next year, we have, a really good team of the Ultimate Warriors of Demolition, and Mr. Perfect taking on Texas Tornado.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That was actually the number one team on WWE's countdown. On WWE.com, they had like a list of the top teams. I think that was the number one team was the Warriors team. I think.
And
I'm
of
also.
course, Flair, DiBiase, Benalti, the Warlord taking on Brett, Piper, Virgil, and the Bulldogs.
I think watching Survivor Series 95 and putting together, like 20 years ago, not knowing why the Dark Side team had such random members, but then finding that picture of the BSK crew and realizing that
Might be the only time that Taker ever used a stroke.
Yeah, like that was the only time that like it was all of Undertaker's boys. So it's just like I think more so just imagining them partying afterwards was made that team cool. And in the Royals, it was Mabel, Hunter Hearst
Another one of my favorite teams. You got to put it out there. Jerry Lawler's team of Jerry Lawler, Cheesy, Queasy, and Fleazy.
Against Clowns R Us.
And contrary to belief, I was not Fleazy on that team.
I thought you were.
No, that wasn't me.
What was another good team? I enjoyed the team of DX, the Hardys, and CM Punk.
Yeah, and what was it at the Survivor Series in the Garden, the one where Cody Rhodes stole it?
The one in 2011?
Yeah, it was Cody Rhodes was on that team, and
I was there for that one. Match. I was there. It was Cody was a heel, so it was Cody, Wade Barrett, Jack Swagger, Hunico, and I think Dolph Ziggler because he did 2 matches that night.
Yeah, right. You are correct.
Against it was Orton, the Batista-looking guy, Mason Ryan, Sin Cara when he hurt himself.
Holy crap, Mason Ryan was on that. Yeah.
Sin Cara, he hurt himself. Kofi Kingston, and I am blanking on the 5th person right now. Babyface 2011.
Babyface in 2011.
Orton, Mason Ryan, Kofi Kingston, Sin Cara. Give me a second. I'm going to go get my program from the show. You can talk.
Oh, yeah. You have the program on standby, kid. Yeah, I just remember that one standing out because Cody Rhodes stole it, but the team itself wasn't that bad. I know that it was 3 of them that won in the end. It was Cody, Bad News Barrett, well, he was Ray Barrett at the time. Cody, Ray Barrett, and someone else were the last 2 on their team. The Garden was hot for Cody Rhodes all night.
Okay, that program was no help at all because the matches aren't in here. It's just pictures of all the superstars.
Do we have to use the internet?
Huh?
I think we should use the internet.
All right. Let me just look through the superstars to see if it comes back to me. No, not Mysterio. Sheamus?
Actually, that might be it.
Sheamus was a babyface at the time? I think it was Sheamus.
That might be it.
That sounds about right. So let's just say Sheamus.
And then any other memorable Survivor Series matches, period, that weren't tag matches that you want to just shout out real quick?
What's this team? The Team All-Americans. Undertaker, Lex Luger, and the Steiners against Yokozuna, Crush, Ludwig Borga, and Quebecer Jacques. The Perfect Plan. There was Razor and Flair versus Perfect and Macho Man.
Yeah, great. My favorite tag team. My favorite tag team match ever.
Non-Survivor Series. Oh, there was who was the teams when The Rock debuted?
Rock, Barry Windham, Jake Roberts,
Mark Merrill.
Mark Merrill was on there.
Non-Survivor Series, of course, would be the first Elimination Chamber.
Very good choice.
Because I was there for that one, and I cut my hand in the glass, but I've told that story a million times. Bret Hart versus Bob Backlund, more so for Owen's performance. Also the beginning of the Owen heel turn, even though the match wasn't that great, but Owen's heel turn was pretty good. I think wasn't Macho Man on one of those? It was like Macho Man, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Marty Jannetty, and Razor.
Macho, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Marty Jannetty, and Razor taking on IRS, Diesel, Adam Bomb, and somebody else.
So that was pretty good. I feel like I enjoyed the Deadly Games. The theme itself looked pretty cool. The set.
Every game was great.
I was a huge fan of The Rock, and like even him turning heel, I was still a fan of his because I was happy to finally see him win the belt. Survivor Series '96, Austin and Brett.
Oh wow, yeah, the first encounter.
Yeah, that was really good. I wish I had gone to that show. Who else? Diesel and Brett was also a really good match.
Even Brett was great, even though the finish, a lot of people seem to have a problem with it.
I didn't have a problem with the finish.
Yeah, like a lot of my friends when we talk about that match, they hate the finish.
I mean, you don't always have to have like a finisher. Like I thought it was cool that Brett was playing possum, he rolled him up, and then it led to Diesel's heel turn.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty good. Not so much the match, but maybe the end. I remember the entrance when Undertaker came down after the Buried Alive, and it was like some like Batman type shit. That was like the beginning.
That
Of
match isn't that bad considering, most of their matches are more fights than anything else.
I think it just wasn't as memorable as like the King of the Ring or the Hell in a Cell or the Boiler Room.
Oh, well, nothing could be as memorable as King of the Ring that those two do, especially in 30s.
So that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, over the last couple years, it hasn't been as memorable. Like, I don't like. If you ask me what happened last year at Survivor Series, the Shield. No, that was 2 years ago. I know they did a cool by the numbers at like between 2 and 1 on that countdown
Uh-huh.
of like Survivor Series, like how many people have been in matches, how many survivors there's been, who's been in the most. So
Well, Survivor Series was one of their original theme pay-per-views, and they just really haven't given it too much attention in the last couple of years, to be honest with you.
and I feel like now even without the champion and like with the pay-per-views not meaning as much financially, I don't know why they wouldn't just put more focus on like why isn't there an undercard? Like they might just add an undercard match, but like why wasn't there
I don't see
another?
it happening. I don't see anything getting on.
It's like okay, like let's look back at '95 because that's the one I recently watched. There was the women's match. They brought in women from Japan.
Right.
There was the
Oh,
underdogs.
well, on the first Survivor Series, there's the Glam Girls and
Yeah,
their own
the
team,
jumping
and
bomb
other
angels
stuff.
and shit.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like okay, like they had the underdogs and the body down. So it's like okay, there's a match for the lower card, for
Yeah.
the jobbers they got some shine, There was the Undertaker match, so it's like okay, that was kind of higher card with some mid carders in there, There was
Yeah.
the wild card.
Everybody had a spot.
It was three Survivor Series matches,
And this would be, considering WWE roster and everybody's, coming in and out, this would be the best time to get, 2, 3, 5 matches on there, so everybody can have some shine.
Yeah, and it's like okay, they're doing this tag team title match. Like, why not just make a Survivor Series match out of that, and then you can do the tag titles the next night?
Well, I can't lie to you. I would have rather they did the tag team match just so that those teams could, the tag team scene, I'm not going to say tag team wrestling is back like they promote on Raw, but I think I stand by them booking that match.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they can't do like a lower card with some of the lower card guys or mid carders, but then like who's there to do? Like there's no like concrete feuds going on right now.
Right.
And I know like the pre-shows, the new and improved Fandango. He's gonna be there. Wade.
Yeah, the Rosa Mendez I saw.
Yeah, Wade Barrett's gonna be there. Paul Heyman. And I mean, it sucks because there are a lot of guys that are injured right now. You do have Reigns out. You do have Bryan out. You have a champion that's not around. Like it's not. There's not really much going on right now. Even if you were to do like even lower card guys are like getting hurt left and right. So it's tough.
Well, who's hurt right now? Sheamus, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan.
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder. So, I mean, yeah, but Ryder, it's not, Ryder, we're saying each other because we love him. It's not like he's going to,
No, I know.
invest anything in him tomorrow.
Exactly. But, I mean, hopefully once Reigns comes back and whenever Bryan comes back, we don't even know when the hell that's going to be. I feel like he's been hurt since before we we took our hiatus,
Yeah, I mean, he still has no timetable to return. You know, it would have been nice if he was back by now, but
Yeah.
he doesn't know when he's coming back, which is
And it's like,
unfortunate.
speaking of Reigns, like, do you see Reigns? Do you see them going with their original plan of Reigns winning the Rumble and Reigns
Absolutely, I do.
beating Lesnar at Mania?
I still totally see him doing that.
And
I
as far
still
as
totally
like,
see him doing that because if anything would have quote unquote changed, that would have been at least rumored by now. But
Yeah.
you know, even so, I don't see him doing anything. But
I mean, in a way,
Reigns.
maybe this injury was like a blessing because he was getting a little stale, and maybe it gives him time to
Absolutely
refresh.
was.
It
Yeah,
gives him time to
absolutely was.
refresh. Like, I heard he's been taking acting lessons. You know what? Good
Well,
for him.
that's character. I mean, you know, I know at
But
the end of the day, they're looking for a
But it's like
more than anything else.
when you're comparing him, it's like, what's the first connection people make? He's The Rock's cousin. And
Right.
it's like, when you think of The Rock, who's the most charismatic wrestler of all time, arguably, you know, it's like he's nowhere on that level. You
Well,
know,
no,
like
not even,
the Rock's
not
one
even
of the
close.
top actors in Hollywood right now, so it's tough because nobody's comparing him to the Wild Samoans. Nobody's comparing him to Rosie or Rikishi. Like, he's being compared to The Rock,
Right.
and that's a big, like, those are big shoes to fill, you know.
That's a big ass shoe. That's a ski boot, my friend.
Exactly. So it's like it's not like he's being compared to the ones on his level. Like, they're, especially because they're pushing him as the next big guy. He's gonna be compared to The Rock because that's his cousin.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, big, good-looking guy, Samoan, but it's like he doesn't have that personality yet. You know, like, and if he is taking acting lessons, then at least he's aware of what it is that he needs to improve, and
I will say that charisma-wise, I think he has something. He just hasn't found it yet.
I agree. I think, like, I know a lot of my female friends, they're a huge fan of his. They find him attractive, so it's like he has that going for him. Because I don't hear anybody referring to any other male wrestlers right now.
Yeah,
So-
right now the quote-unquote most attractive wrestlers are probably Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, so
From what I'm hearing, because that's all I could, you know, I got chicks,
that's all I hear. You know, it's like
I got chicks watching Raw just for Roman Reigns when he's on.
exactly
You know?
like my friend Crystal that I saw at Raw. She was going to see Roman Reigns, and I guess I felt bad when he was hurt and he wasn't going to be at the show. So like Gigi is another one. Even my own girlfriend is like, and all these chicks, they don't even like guys with long hair. It's like, but they all like
that's-
Roman Reigns. Like,
Yeah, and this dude is the exception.
exactly. It's like, oh, I don't like guys with long. Like, okay, what about when I had fucking long hair? I didn't get that same reaction Roman Reigns got. I know. Jay, shout out to our big fan. Jay always that picture of me as the gothic J.R. Scar. He always says that I look like Roman Reigns in that picture.
Well, I mean, Roman Reigns plays a gimmick, and he should be sued.
I mean, if I looked like Roman Reigns at that time, my life would have been a lot different.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But I mean, I'm looking forward to see what he can do. Like, I
I
mean,
just hope his in-ring work, you know, changes. Because, like I said, I do think he's a little stale. I'm tired of the spear and the Superman punch and the current.
and the ring around the Rosie kick.
The ring around the Rosie kick. Just certain nuances that he does that have become too repetitive.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like if we get at Cena for 5 moves of doom and he only has 3, you know.
Yeah.
I think
And nobody's saying that, by the way.
I think
Just saying.
WWE needs to be careful because he could become the next Cena as far as like fans resenting
Well,
him.
I
think what happens-
they're really betting the house on him. I think
what happens is
trying so
WWE
hard.
pushes them so hard. It's like, okay, yeah, we
WWE
kind
is trying too hard to find the next John Cena. And
like we
I don't
kind of
think we've
okay,
seen
yeah,
that
this guy's
person
cool,
yet.
we like him, but the fans are gonna resent them just because WWE pushes them, and it's like,
Yeah, that's how
okay, but
fans do.
we like Dean Ambrose, we like Daniel Bryan, we liked CM Punk, but you never pushed those guys. You just kept pushing the same fucking John Cena every time, or we like Dolph Ziggler. Like, I guess WWE fans have these underdogs that they root for, and then
Yeah.
they force the bigger guys on us, you know. So
I mean-
I think that's gonna be his biggest problem that he's gonna encounter, and I don't know. To Cena's credit, Cena's done a very, very good job at handling it and not letting it get to him. And it's like, I don't know if Roman Reigns can handle it to the level that Cena does, where Cena kind of embraces it and he fucks with people.
I mean, like I said, WWE is trying so hard to find the next John Cena. And
Like, Cena can get booed out of the building and it will not faze him. And
I don't think WWE has found the guy to take John Cena's seat, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I don't think we found that guy, straight up.
And like I said, I guess to Cena's credit, he can handle it and he's aware of it. You know, like, okay, they're gonna boo me. I'm not gonna fight it. I'm not gonna ignore it. You know, at the same time, if he was to ignore it, it would come across where I think the fact that he embraces it and he messes with the fans and he'll throw little teases in there and he'll do shit to like get people to pop for him. I give him credit for being able to like be on that level to handle that. You know. I feel like a lot of other people wouldn't be able to handle that. Like even Shawn Michaels, when he started getting booed as a babyface, he would get frustrated.
Yeah, you saw it. Like, you saw it in his face.
Yeah, like in Survivor, when he was fighting Sid.
He was a different guy at that time, too.
Oh, yeah, I feel like now, I mean, but like I'm saying, he was the top guy and he was starting to get booed and he couldn't handle it as much as I love Shawn. You know, like that's the one time you'll ever hear me say that Cena did anything better than Shawn. But it's like, I mean, maybe The Rock to that level too, where like I get when he was in there with Hogan and he started getting booed. Like he was.
I don't think Rock got frustrated for that. I definitely think that Rocky Maivia was getting frustrated. And it's it's well documented how mad he was getting.
But by the time he was at that level where he faced Hogan, he was able to handle it.
Yeah.
You know, he was able to kind of roll with the punches, but that's the way it goes.
Well, Hogan couldn't handle getting booed, and he went ahead and turned heel.
Well, it's fun. Like, listen, on MLW, on VIP, Kevin Sullivan has his own podcast on there, and he's kind of going through like what was going on like during his time booking Nitro, and he said that like there were a lot of people in Hogan's ear like telling him not to turn heel. Like, to the point where Kevin Sullivan kept Hogan at his house to keep him away from everybody so that nobody can convince him to not turn heel.
Yeah, and then the story goes for Bash to the Beach that they drove Hogan in about 20 minutes before the main event, that Hogan was at Kevin Sullivan's house, and Sullivan was calling and directing the pay-per-view from his house.
And, like, Kevin Sullivan was so, like, not Sullivan, but Hogan was so paranoid that, like, Kevin Sullivan did everything he could to like keep Hogan happy, whether it was like all the Dungeon of Doom guys, like pretty much were all of Hogan's boys, like feeding him all of his own boys to beat. So I mean, it's pretty interesting if you want to listen to it, like just everything that Sullivan had to go through just to like make sure that went through, you know.
I'll definitely check that out.
So, damn, we were like all over the place today.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that we have not covered, but we will.
This is the 4 Life podcast. We don't have any structure to this show. We will say we're going to discuss one thing and we go off into rants, but that's what you guys love us.
That's really how it goes. Next week we will be back. I promise. Scout's honor. 4 Life podcast. Boss, go ahead, plug yourself.
Social media at 4 Life Podcast, Instagram, Twitter, also Facebook.com/4Life Podcast, 4lifepodcast.com. I've been kind of updating the site a bit. Also, if you want to catch Cheyenne, I'm going to put you over. Cheyenne has been you've been announcer, interviewer for Ace, the promotion.
Yeah, for Ace Pro Wrestling American Championship Entertainment, yeah.
So, you can talk a little bit about that. Give you
every Wednesday, due to reasons that I just feel like I really should discuss on the show, there will not be a new episode for a couple of weeks, but on aceprowrestling.com, that's www.aceprowrestling.com, you can watch Overdrive, and all the old episodes are on there for the past 7 months. So definitely check it out. On the last episode, you see me have an interview with Mike Mondo, a.k.a. Spirit Squad member Mikey, which is getting a lot of praise, from what I understand. So is that a big deal? I know you get to hear me commentate on the last 7 or 8 episodes. You get to hear me commentate.
Yeah, I'm gonna start posting those onto our Facebook.
So yeah, check me out there, and then of course.
Also, if you go to our site, I added the banner for Ace. I took it from their site, so if you click, so it goes to their site. Since I know that you're part of that, so I do want to like show them love on our site.
Yeah.
So I got rid of the Seder Mania logo and put Ace.
Yeah. I'm headed to Jersey today, actually.
Yeah. I mean, is the fund still going? Or,
Is the what?
huh?
Is the what still going?
The fund?
No, the GoFundMe is still going on, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because
It's at $11,000, and for more information on that, you just go to
it's actually on our website.
Yep.
It's actually the first image that comes up on our site, so if you do want to donate and you can read more on that, I'm going to donate because I was just waiting to get paid this week.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
So definitely, if you want to check out the site for more information on that, please go. I saw that Mike Johnson, one of those big sites, was pushing it, so it's good to see that it is getting.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Insider's been pushing, and again, I don't want to discuss the issue on the air. So go to FairLifePodcast.com, click on the GoFundMe link.
Yeah, so if you go, it's the first image that comes up. You click on that, donate.
Yeah, and guys, please, like I said, I don't want to discuss the matter at hand.
Yeah. I wanted to leave it on you if you were going to discuss it.
I just really feel like putting it out there.
Yeah, I mean,
FairLifePodcast.com, the GoFundMe banner is there.
I at least wanted to push the fund. I at least wanted to push the fund and get people on there. I'll add the link to the bio for the show, but I didn't know if you wanted to get into detail or not, so I left that on you. But I just wanted
the situation is kind of escalated, so I'd rather not.
Yeah, and I respect that. But I at least wanted to get the fund out there to get people at least to donate,
Yeah.
But we will be back next week, we promise. I'm glad that all you guys have shown interest and hit us up asking when we're coming back. Our boy
And we're back.
Incognito Man.
Gotta shout out Incognito Man.
Of course.
Even though he loves you more than me on Twitter, so Incognito Man, I want you, George, gonna get on it, brother.
All right. So thank you guys for listening. We're glad to be back. I miss doing the show. It's been a rough couple months for both of us. But I mean, I'm glad that we're back. Like, I love you like a brother, and
you're my man, Bosh. You're my man.
I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. We're gonna play our interview with Mean Gene just because that was a lot of fun, and
we're gonna close it out with Mean Gene, Okerlund, and be sure to check out the 4 Life Podcast Facebook page. I'm gonna start putting up this new thing, what to watch on the WWE Network. Suggestions for me, the professor, if you will.
Yeah, just as fans growing up. Yeah, just as fans growing up, having Mean Gene interview us. He asks us about the show. There's a little.
Let me just point out that we're supposed to do 60 seconds with Mean Gene, and we got 3 minutes and a half on it.
Yeah, 3.5 minutes. It was pretty cool. Like, he started asking us about the current product. At one point, I was just kind of sitting back and watching you guys go back and forth. I mean, the video's on our YouTube, so if you want, I might just post up the video itself to the podcast so you can download it. But it was just cool. Like, at one point, it was like, okay, like, this is kind of fun watching you guys go back and forth and joke with each other.
It was cool. I don't know why he chose me, but it was cool, man.
I mean, I'm always, like, it's always fun. Like, especially because you used to announce for our backyard company, so it's like it was fun watching fucking Cheyenne and Mean Gene go back and forth. So like it was like a little mark moment for me where you see me in the video. I'm just sitting back watching you guys and cracking up. But
we got a lot of praise for that. That was definitely the highlights. I can't believe in the last year I interviewed a former WWE superstar that's been in the ring with Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H.
Yeah.
I was interviewed by a WWE Hall of Famer, and I probably met about 50 wrestlers in the last year. I can't believe it.
Yeah, so
I host one of the hottest for the fans, by the fans, weekly, episodic, marvelous, or hiatus podcast on iTunes right now. 4 Life Podcast, where you listen to your podcast and listen to it 4 Life.
See you guys next week.
Hi, gang. Mean Gene Okerlund here. We're in the greater New York City area attending a fan fest like I have never seen before. Thousands of fans, the sea of people in the lobbies and in the ballrooms of this great hotel adjacent to LaGuardia Airport. And with this comes a couple of gentlemen I had to get behind the microphone and behind the camera. Cheyenne, you're here,
Thank you, sir.
Along with your associate, Bosh.
That's
Tell
right.
me, what is the...
4 Life Podcast.
Pardon?
We're host of the 4 Life Podcast.
I've heard about it.
You have.
I've heard about it.
For
Where did you
Life
guys
Podcast.
meet?
We met at an undisclosed location, and we decided we would do a podcast for the fans, by the fans, For Life podcast. When you listen to your podcast, you listen to it for life, Gene. And I know you're a big listener of it.
I've tuned in a time or two.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't you send me money?
Gene, we don't discuss our personal business on air.
We just said undisclosed location. What the hell is that all about?
I don't like when you get defensive.
What do you make of this? The guy's trying to swerve, as we say in
Are you
business.
trying to swerve me? Gene?
I would
That's
never
for
swerve
me.
you. Your envelopes are never light.
That's a good thing, too. Tell me a little bit about you and the role that you play in this podcast.
I'm the social media whore of the podcast. I'm Bosch. And I know we've been on a hiatus, but we're coming back Sunday, November 23rd. Same day as Survivor Series, so you get Survivor Series free, and you get us coming back as well.
Sounds good. I'm going to be in St. Louis.
There you are.
But I still can dial it in, though, right?
Yes, you can.
On
Yeah.
iTunes, Stitcher, whatever device.
Taking a look at the talent that we see right now, since wrestling has now become a global entity,
That's right.
you got any favorites that...
Well, right now my favorite is also on hiatus, Daniel Bryan. But
Mhm.
right now I'm a huge fan of Dean Ambrose right now. Dean Ambrose is my guy.
Dean Ambrose just made a movie, I believe, out in Vancouver.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah. And you, as you assess the talent that we see in the WWE and even in some of the independent organizations,
Okay.
what do you think's going on right now?
I'm a big fan of Seth Rollins right now. I've been following him for a long time throughout his career.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad to see him doing so well in the company.
I think it was very important that the Shield literally broke up because
That's right.
you've got three great pieces of talent now that seem to really be flourishing in
Yes.
their careers.
Yes.
Either one of you wrestled before?
No, not professionally.
Not professionally.
Well, what the hell do you mean not professionally?
Not professionally.
I said, have you ever wrestled before?
Then I'll say yes.
Amateur?
Amateur wrestling, yes.
And yourself?
Backyard.
Backyard. Ever go off a roof?
Nope.
See the movie Badass?
Badass, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Gentlemen, I thank you very
Gene,
much.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
I'll
good
be
luck
calling-
in your
I'll be calling you later, 1-900.
November 23rd, am I right?
That's right.
Back on the air, the podcast. Cheyenne, Bosch, our guests, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Womp bump a doo bump a womp bamboo tutti frutti. Alrighty, tutti frutti. Alrighty, hey, tutti frutti. Alrighty, tutti frutti. Alrighty, tutti frutti. Alrighty, a womp bump a doo bump a womp bamboo. I got a gal, her name is Sue. That knows just what to do. I got a gal, her name is Sue. That knows just what to do. Knows how to love me, yes indeed, but brother don't know what you're doing to me. Tutti frutti. Already, tutti frutti. Already, tutti frutti. Already, tutti frutti. Already, tutti frutti. Already. Womp bump a doo bump a womp bam boom. We got a gal, her name is Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. I got a gal, her name is Daisy. She almost drives me crazy. Bam to the east, bam to the west. Daisy gal and I love it. Tutti frutti. Already, tutti frutti. What? Tutti frutti. Already, tutti frutti. Already, tutti frutti. Already. Womp bump a doo bump a womp bam boom. East, back to the west, Daisy's the gal that I love best.